Life size box first as usual. Welcome, welcome. Debbie Home, hello. What's happening, everyone? I can hear myself in the background. All right. Give me just a moment here, guys. Just trying to make sure I'm getting live everywhere. Also got to double check my titles. I managed to botch that yesterday, and so I have the wrong titles on my stream from yesterday, which is embarrassing because I was in a rush. That's what I get for being in a rush. Hello, Sherry Beltran. What's happening? Welcome, welcome. All right. Live there. Let me just get live on Facebook, and I think we are good to go. So everybody says, come on. Let's do this. All right. All right, all right. I am officially live everywhere. What's happening, everyone? Thank you for joining me today. How's everybody doing? Dismal volume today, and you know, red day again. Seems like we just had this on Monday. Here we are again, another red day. There were a couple of bright spots I wanted to point out to you real quick. As a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and jump into this right now because I don't really have any current events today. I have this, and so I want to say, if you are in a Civic trade, I would consider taking profit right now because it has run up. I mean, aside from this crazy little spike that it has here, it's run up to as pretty close to where it was during its consensus pump, and volume otherwise has been dismal. So I can tell you this, I actually, before the stream today, decided to I decided to go ahead and close out my position on Civic. So the orders haven't hit yet, but I did set my sell orders there right at the tips of these candle wicks, and we'll be walking away from that one myself. I just have not seen a lot of movement from them, and Vinny Lingham is a Bitcoin maximalist. If somebody doesn't even believe in their own blockchain, it makes it kind of hard for me to do so. Also, a lot of the you know, they've set out to do this identity theft protection on the blockchain, and what I've found is that they just partnered with TransUnion, and I already have TransUnion, so I'm not really very impressed with what they have accomplished so far, and I've lost a little bit of faith in Civic. I like the idea of identity theft protection on the blockchain. I myself have been the victim of identity theft, and so anything we can do to make that more robust, I'm a fan of, but I just don't see a lot of progress in Civic, and so I'm preparing to close my position on that. So that is something I wanted to draw everybody's attention to, is you know, this has bounced off this buy area several times now, and so you can see here we've got an indecision candle. I suspect we might close at a similar price point, but I suspect we're probably going down. So I don't even know if my buy orders will hit. I'm sorry, my sell orders will hit. I might go back in and lower them after the stream. Yeah. I say when people join the live stream, hit the like. Yeah, why not? Seriously, guys, if you are if you've been joining me here daily and you follow us, obviously, I'm guessing most of you that jumped in already have already hit the little bell for subscription, but any of you who have not, make sure to hit that little bell for the subscription so it notifies you anytime we do go live, and you can jump on and hear me rant, and hopefully get notified of calls like this one. Like I said, if you've been in Civic anytime in the last 24 hours, I would look to take some profit right now. I've been in Civic a long time, so I'm just not confident in the long-term prospects of the project anymore, and have decided to close that one out of my position. So let's see. Do I know Lena Review Token? This is somebody from Twitter. No, Ed, I do not know Lena Review Token, so I'll have to write that down and see if that is one that is worth taking a look at for us. Hold on, let me see if I got any yeah, here's some scratch paper. So Lena, don't know anything about it, can't speak to it, don't want to bother a TA on it because I don't know anything about it. So Scott Holzman, welcome, first timer. What's happening? Pre-like? I don't think there's a pre-like you can do. I think you just would have to hit that thumbs up when you're on. But hey, Scott Holzman, first-time visitor, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us here. Hopefully, today was not a great day in the market, and I don't have any super bang-up information today. So sorry that today is your first day. Usually, I'm at least a little bit more full of current events and things to help you make some decisions. Today, I've just got some short-term calls that I saw on a red day. So welcome. And yeah, got into Civic at ICO, sold around 50. I got, what is this? I need to blow this chat up. I can't quite make out what that is saying. I got torn a new one, Civic, buying it on Ether Delta. Bummer. Yeah, I got in on Civic pretty cheap last year, but it just really didn't do anything since. And the more I hear Vinny Lingam talk, the more I'm not sold that he's a fan of his own blockchain, and so why would I be a fan if you don't support your own blockchain? So yeah, so that I did see that, and would encourage anybody who has been in that trade recently to go ahead and take some profit on that. Your call, of course. I am not your financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. This is just what I would do. So I did see another project that had a great day today. So this is another one that I'm just going to recommend taking some profit on, but mostly just because it's gone parabolic. So I know people have been asking me about this last couple of days, and now I know why. Golem has gone parabolic. So this is another one I would strongly consider taking profit were I in this position. The RSI is so run up. It is what are we sitting at, about 78 right now. Histogram starting to curl down, and I'm willing to bet you, yep, as we get into these smaller intervals, sure enough, not a ton of bear volume coming in, so I don't know that I would close out of my position entirely, but I think you would be wise to take a percentage of profit on this one. If you've been in this trade anytime since, well, anytime in the last 3 days, really. Yeah, but looking like it's going to dip down a little bit, and I think Bitcoin has further down to go. I hate to be right when I say I told you so on these things. But what did I say, guys, 3 days ago? Don't trust the pump. It's a trap, and sure enough, where have we gone? Is right on back down. The good news is we are still holding above the recent downtrend line, and we are still holding above, or I'm sorry, the long-term downtrend line and also the recent downtrend line. So that is a good news, but I'm still not sure that we don't see it break down a little bit further. You know, everything might go a little bit crazy, right? The sixth theory is out there now, and if you don't know what that is, then I'm not going to tell you about it on here because it's all over the internet right now, but one of our analysts spotted it, and if you want to know more about that, I recommend going over to the Cryptosomniac Advantage and joining. So you can do so for free right now. We did a whole webinar on this, and there's a whole bunch of details on what the sixth theory is. We'll see if it plays out. Chances are a cat's out of the bag. It never quite works out that way, but if you want to know what that sixth theory is, go on over to cryptosomniac.com, click the little rocket there, and you can sign up for free right now. So you would have access to all of our reports. You would have access to our private Moon Lounge Slack channel, which we'll be moving over to Discord shortly. But we have a pretty active community of traders in there. So similar to this, being able to jump on and say, hey, call this for me or TA this for me, you have it in your pocket. And we did a full 2-hour webinar, Amal and I, and he was the one who spotted this pattern. I think it was a great spot, and definitely is a theory that's worth keeping a look at. And at the very least, it's worth you know, putting in your memory banks for the future. Yeah, just to start to help you spot out patterns as you are improving your TA skills. Is Civic not a good long-term hold? It might be. I don't know. This is just my opinion. I used to think Civic was a good long-term hold. I am less confident in it now, primarily just because of Vinny Lingham's outspokenness that Bitcoin blockchain is the only blockchain, and also just the fact that I'm not really keen on the, you know, they're partnering with the same people they're supposed to be protecting us from, right? Experian already got hacked. Was it Experian or, yeah, Experian already got hacked. Wait, Equifax got hacked and did not do anything about it, and that doesn't give me a lot of I honestly think all of those agencies are in pretty strong collusion, and I suspect the practices of one probably very similar to the practices of another, and if they're really just keeping their eyes on their shareholders and profits and not reinvesting in their security, I don't really trust them to have my information. So if Civic, who was supposed to be making an alternative to that, is going to continue to partner with the same people, that's the foxes watching the hen house, and I've lost all faith in that project. So yeah, a quarter of Americans did get hacked, myself included. I was already the victim of identity theft before that, so my credit has been locked for a very long time. But I feel really bad for anybody who is going to have to go through this, because trust me, that was half of what got me invested in Civic in the first place, was having been the victim of identity theft, and you know, saying I wish there was a way that nobody would ever have to go through that again. Verifying your identity on the blockchain seemed like a pretty good way to go, but so far I just haven't seen a lot of progress. Just haven't seen a lot of progress for them, and so in the meantime, I'm closing my position. I'm actually getting to the point, guys, where I'm trying to, I don't want to have a position in 50 different coins or 30 different coins. I want to have a position in about 10 that I believe very solidly in the fundamentals on, and that's kind of just where I'm at with it. You know, I don't have a problem with getting into an ICO if you think it's going to do well, but anymore, my long-term holds are dwindling, and by that I mean I don't consider some of the projects I might have considered a long-term hold previously to be a long-term hold anymore. And you know, I think any wise trader, or any wise human, frankly, for that matter, should always be willing to change their mind when presented with new information. And so as new information is presented to me that helps me, informs on my opinion and changes the way that I want to vote with my dollar, so to speak, I'm closing out certain positions, Civic being one of them. It's important to be selective with so many coins available. Boy, isn't that the truth? I mean, seriously, this I want to point something out here, guys. I go to cryptosomniac.com all the time, and you guys might go to CoinMarketCap for this. We have it here, so why wouldn't I go to our own website? We also have the cool little RSI feature there, although everything's in the yellow today. But this is really what I came back over here right now to point out was, look how many different currencies there are, and this number fluctuates 40, 50, 60 every couple of days. So you know, there's always new projects coming out. So that being said, there's always something that I could be interested in adding to my portfolio and holding on to, but that may be at the expense of something else that's already been there at this point. I'm trying to really only get invested in projects that I believe in for a long-term hold anymore, because having to keep track of entries and exits on 50 different coins that are spread across multiple exchanges takes a lot of time, and time is precious, very precious commodity. So let's see, what else we got. Do you think quantum computers will affect crypto in a bad way? Not anytime soon. Yes is the short version of that answer, because the computing power of a quantum computer would far more easily be able to brute force hack your private keys, just because of the speed that they'd be able to process data. I suspect by the time that's a factor, that we will have developed blockchains or other similar solutions that are resistant. I mean, there's already certain ones that are trying to be quantum resistant, so quantum resistant ledger being one of them. Yeah, I do think that it could, I think it definitely will pose a problem for blockchains as they currently exist. How about I say it that way? Quantum computers will be a problem for blockchains as they currently exist. But by the time quantum computers become as widely adopted as the personal computer or the smartphone, I think we will have blockchains or similar solutions that are robust enough to address that problem with no fear. That's what I think. All right. Also need to change credit card, debit cards pre-hack. Yeah, true. The good news on that is your cards expire, at least my cards expire every couple of years. So I'm that and I've forgotten them in a restaurant or a bar here and there, and when that happens, I'll just close it out immediately, and just have them send me a new one. So that's always a possibility. Is rotating your credit cards out. Also, I do find that it is a lot easier to recover from identity theft issues via your credit card and data fraud via a credit card than it is if somebody gets a hold of your social security number. Trust me on that one. I'm speaking from personal experience. Yes, you're correct, Miguel. Quantum Secure, Cardano is one of them, and that is part of the reason why we like Cardano over here. All right. Don't think we'll see the bull run this year. I don't know. We'll see. You know, it's not looking likely, but who knows? I mean, was everything looking super this is really when it started to heat up last year anyway. Need I remind you? Let's go ahead and zoom way out. Way out into the way out. And let's see. Yeah. So here's June of last year. Right here. Hold on. I wish I had a tool handy there so I can let's oops. All right. So just to put that into perspective, we're still way above where we were a year ago. Way above. Everybody's freaking out because they're like, no, Bitcoin's supposed to be 20K. And, you know, it is if that's when you bought in, I guess. But there's a lot of people that have been in this market a lot longer that are still like, I'm fine with $7,300 Bitcoin because that's great because I was getting in when it was cents per Bitcoin or dollars per Bitcoin or even hundreds of dollars per Bitcoin. So it really all depends on when you got into the market, right? But yeah, I just wanted to point this out. So this is where we were a year ago. This red line right here. And then we had a what? 100% gains within 43 days. Then it had retraced about 50% of that within another what, 10 days, 12 days, and then broke out again. So, you know, it's everybody that's let's not get too crazy that the whole market's going to hell in a handbasket this year, huh? And let's not get too crazy that the whole market's going to the moon this year either. Let's just accept that this is a market just like any other, and that prices will fluctuate a little bit, and that let's also accept that this is not normal. This is not normal for any asset anywhere ever. So, you know, only Bitcoin does this. It's, you know, it's just not it's not a common thing for asset classes to go parabolic like that. I think a lot of us just don't get involved in other markets and only have the frame of reference of last year. I think a lot of people, which, you know, will color your decisions a little bit or color your opinions. All right, let's see. I closed my position on EOS, but I like EOS, so when do you think it would be a good time to get in again? That's actually a legit question, and I think maybe closing your position on EOS wasn't a bad look, depending on where you got in it. But where is a good reentry? That's a good question. I honestly think, as with many coins, they've got their mainnet launch coming up in a month, EOS, supposedly. Assuming all the holes are patched. You guys saw that about the holes that the Chinese developers or the Chinese security team found. Supposedly they had patched all those holes immediately. We'll see. Time will tell. But assuming that they've addressed all of that and are comfortable with keeping their mainnet launch at the same on the 30th of June, then I mean, this is our last breakout, but let's just look at this whole thing. And to be fair, I got to go down to the bottom of this wick. So from recent local minimum to recent local maximum. I'd let it come down a little bit more personally. Again, I suspect it's going to break down a little bit in advance of the mainnet launch, but this is one to watch, really. It looks like it's... Yeah, it looks like it's just been cooling off a little bit. The momentum's not swinging as heavily in either direction. But yeah, I said this yesterday. I think we were going to have trouble piercing above this fib level. So if it were me, I would set, I would ladder your buys in and give yourself a good gap. I don't know that all these are going to hit in any time soon, but I think you're safe to ladder in orders between 10,000 Satoshis and anywhere all the way up to 13. But I would wait for it to retrace a little bit more before that. That's what I would say. I wouldn't jump into that trade yet. I think it's going to come down a little bit ahead of the mainnet launch, just because that's very common. Mainnet launches. Look what's happening with Tron. Tron's a perfect example. Right, their mainnet launch is tomorrow. Extend. There we go. And they'd been pumping pretty hard, started to dip back down, had a little bit more of a run up. This was, guys, I've shared this with you several days in a row. I missed this one and sat out, and then decided I didn't want to underestimate the ability of Justin Sun to pump this thing prior to the mainnet launch. So I wrote it from 900 sats to 960 sats, and I got off the Tron train. I said it when it happened. I tried to keep you guys up to date as I make these moves. So hopefully you took action when the time was appropriate and are not bag holding. If not, I would look to exit. I mean, I've already exited my Tron position 100%. So me saying that I would look to exit my Tron position sooner than later is a yes. But again, this is all going to qualify on where did you get in. Don't sell for a loss. If you bought at now or higher, you might as well set a stop loss and hope it doesn't break down under this fib level right here. I would honestly even set a stop at 780, 788, somewhere in there, depending on your tolerance for this fib line right here, because you can see it's gonna wick below it or right down to it. So it depends. You're trying to get stopped out or not. Let's see. Do you think Ripple or XRP will be there in the long run in 10 years? Says Life is Respect over on Twitter. As much as I hate Ripple, I've said this time and again, I hate it. I don't support it. I'm not a fan of the project, blah, 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 blah. But they do make an awful lot of different partnerships with banks, and people do fall for that. Because again, this is time for me to go on a Ripple rant. Okay. All right. Settle down. Ripple's partnerships do not require the XRP token. All these banks and other partnerships that they're making are utilizing their network, not the token, thus not giving the token intrinsic value. I don't think that the XRP token is going to be worth as much as people think that it is. Now, that being said, do I think it is going to be worth more than it is today? Yes, and there's two reasons why. One, for the reasons stated, the obvious ones, they've made a ton of partnerships with banks, and that will be the gateway drug for bankers to enter the crypto market, however you feel about that. And so I think as a result, mainstream investors, traditional market investors are going to like them as a project because of that. And second reason is they've just got great marketing. They're all kinds of people that don't know anything about crypto, when they ask me about it, they say, should I buy Bitcoin or Ether or Ripple? I'm talking about, like my parents and other people that are just not into it are generally asking me about Ripple. And I think that alone, meaning that many normals have exposure to it will probably bring some marketing eyes to it, and marketing equals value, unfortunately, very often in this business. So boy, to be honest with you guys, this does look like there's a bounce play to be made on this Tron right now. Well, it's well oversold on the 4 hour. It's getting back up into a reasonable range on the 2 hour. So maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. All right, anyway. All right. I'm with you. Focusing on great projects. I think that's the move. I think that's the move. Will you follow the mainnet from Tron? Oh, I will follow Tron. I am very impressed with Justin Sun as a marketer. And again, I think Tron has legs long term. I think Tron is realistically a decentralized app store, not just a video game market. And I think if they do end up having partnerships with Alibaba, or potentially sealing the deal with, geez, why am I blanking on it? BitTorrent? Was it BitTorrent? It was a torrenting platform. I think it's BitTorrent that they're trying to partner with or acquire. So I think things like that definitely give Tron legs long term. And you know, again, like I said, I will never underestimate the pump master Justin Sun ever again. That guy is a great marketer, and marketing brings attention, and attention brings dollars. So that's what I say. All right. All right. So let's see. Just got here. I talked about BTC price. I mean, I pretty much talk about BTC all the time, because I think I've made no secret that this is my favorite thing to trade in and out of. Although I'm considering making ETH my new favorite, just because recently the moves have been larger percentage wise. But I just pay most attention to Bitcoin because I think everything is pegged to Bitcoin, and so we've looked at it. So what do I think about Bitcoin? In short, I'm not 100% sure that we don't have further down to go, and I'm still sitting out of the market. I've got buy orders in between 6,000 and 6,800. I'm not 100% sure we're going there. I'm not like, yeah, we're going to 6K, but I'm put my buy orders in that low because I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable picking up some and sitting on it for that price if that's what has to happen. I don't think we're going down further than 6K, but again, this kind of all really depends, guys. I mean, this is here's my chart. This is what we're looking at. 6K. There's not a lot of support below that. So honestly, I think if we break down into the 6,800 range, I'm kind of afraid all my buy orders are going to fill in about a 3-minute span, because I'm not sure if it breaks below the 6,800 range that we don't free fall for a little bit. I don't want that to happen. I hope that's not what's going to happen, but I'm keeping a very close eye on what Bitcoin is doing right now. So hey Mitch, thanks man. Hey, you know what? My honesty, I hope, is what brings you guys to the channel, to be honest with you. I'm not a shill. Hashtag no shills. I mean, we do paid reviews occasionally. You know, like it's, you know, that's fine, but I always disclose it to you if somebody paid me to review something. So I'm trying not to shill even when I'm shilling. The only thing I'm shilling on a regular basis is the Cryptosomniac Advantage, because I think that there is value in this product, and I know so because I'm part of it. I'm part of it, and we have some great TAs in there that can provide some real value to you. And in fact, if you guys want to get a little bit of a taste of it, and you're just not ready to sign up for the Advantage, Amal is, I think we're going to have him on for his first stream like this on Friday. So boy, if you guys like my TA, just wait till you get to see Amal. He is an animal. So good, long-term industry vet, great story. If you want to hear his story, you can do so. Just go into join the Cryptosomniac Advantage. You get a free 2-week trial, and watch our most recent webinar. It's up there, and you can find it in the Moon Lounge. So anyway, yeah, I try not to shill. I try not to overly shill. I mean, obviously, I will shill projects that I like and that I am, you know, that I'm a fan of. But I'm not shilling it, saying it to buy so that you'll buy my bags. That's poor practice. I'm not one of those people. It's part of why I like crypto and not the banks, because I'm not one of those people. But it's a pretty, I mean, you know, there's still tons of them in the world. So what are you gonna do? All right, let's see. Boy, you guys are chatty today. All right, let's see. 99% of coins don't have a product ready, just promises and roadmaps. That's right, man. That's a big one for me. If I'm looking to get into an ICO, does the project already exist, right? Do they already have an existing platform, or did they build their platform before they went for, you know, additional funding? Or you know, I'm way more for something that's already got a use case. Because here's the other thing too: you can have a great idea, but if you don't have a user base, how are you going to acquire that user base, right? 'Cause there's all kinds of different projects out there that I'm like, yeah, this has legs. How are you going to get people into it? You know, a lot of companies that I talk to don't seem to have a good answer for that. So I always like it when there's projects that are like, listen, we already have a user base, we already have a product on the market, and we are just looking to we are looking to move our product onto the blockchain for this reason. And then generally when those people, I will ask them why they think their product is, you know, what differentiates their product from anything else on the market. I read a lot of white papers, and a lot of white papers read pretty much the same to me. All right, so let's see. Sorry, my chat is, I'm having some difficulty getting it to scroll. There we go. Okay. So let's see. Turnio is a new project built on Stellar that was verified 1.2 trillion by a third party. 1 trillion? Million. I don't know. Cut off. Sorry, I can't see it. I'd have to do more digging into the actual Turnio ICO before I can give you a confident assessment of that. But I am a huge fan of the Stellar platform and blockchain. I've said that on multiple occasions. That's one of my largest bag holdings. I guess it's not really a bag if I'm up on it, but that's one of my largest holdings. Yeah, I will definitely look into Turnio, and it being built on Stellar gives me some confidence in it, or at least gives me a reason to want to look into it. So I'll see what I can find out, but I can't tell you if I think it's a good ICO right now because I haven't done the research, and I don't want to tell you if not. But I can tell you I do like things. I do like Stellar, so that ticks one box for me. All right, let's see. Am I missing anybody on? Everyone waiting for $99 Litecoin. I'm not. I'm waiting for $200 Litecoin again. Okay, let's see. Have you heard of the BTC trend reversal on the 6th? Yeah, Noah, you're late to the party, man. One of our analysts figured that out about 2 weeks ago, but the cat's out of the bag now. So what I do think is that might not play out, because let me go through this again. How'd those Chinese New Year red envelopes investments go for you? How'd that affect the market? But everybody knows that's what was going to happen. Oh, it didn't happen. Okay. How'd those Wall Street trader bonuses work out for you? Everybody knows big money's going to come in. All these Wall Street traders are getting their bonuses, and the big money's going to come in. How'd that work out? That's right, it didn't. Okay, and then Consensus. Everybody knows Consensus, huge bull run after Consensus, right? Because all the new projects come out. We've seen it every year. How'd that work out for you? Cool. So, unfortunately, now that everybody knows about it, I'm not as confident in that 6th theory, because when everybody knows, you best believe that the whales are sitting there understanding that you know, and understanding that you're going to make a play based on some information like that, and you are setting yourself up for trouble. It's kind of like telling somebody Yeah, I just saw somebody say tax returns. Yeah, that's another one. How'd those tax returns work out? How'd those tax returns work out for a boost in market capital? I'll tell you how they worked out. They didn't, because we're still only at 300. In fact, we've lost money while I'm on this stream. I feel like I'm a bad luck charm at 7 p.m. guys. I gotta try doing a different time. But we were at 329 billion, but at least it's up. We were down, clear down at. I think we were under 200 yesterday on the stream. So a little bit of money coming back into the market, but you know, it's not doing huge things. We're going to need to see billions of dollars come into this market to really start to kick off the bull run in the direction that everybody remembers from last year. If we're trying to relive those glory days, we need a lot more money coming into this market, and I don't know what is out there to build that enthusiasm right now for retail investors, for Main Street, you know, and Wall Street is waiting until they can continue to play their manipulation games with it before they'll go in heavy. So we'll see. All right, yeah, the sixth effect. So that's what I think. So be careful. Be careful on that, guys. You know, I wish it would play out. I wish people would have kept their mouths shut about it. So we could have tested the theory, but I guess, you know, it's inevitably, if one of our analysts saw it, I'm sure other analysts saw it as well, because it was there to be seen. So do I think it's going to play out? I don't know anymore. Before I started seeing it everywhere, I was pretty confident in it. Now we'll see. I do have a bunch of fiat sitting on the side, ready to take action if the market confirms a bullish move. I'll say that. All right. BTC is kicking our arses. Yeah. Unfortunately, BTC is gonna continue to kick everyone in the shins until the whales get it to their price. What is that price, guys? Honestly, at this point. So I'm honestly almost as perplexed as you guys are. I would have thought 6K was the capitulation point. You know, I would have thought, you know, after 20 that getting it down to 10 was acceptable. We've gone all the way down to 6. I'm starting to wonder if the whales want a $4,000 market. I can't see why that would be good long term, right? Because if they just come in and buy it all up, like, let's be honest, if they're really trying to buy it all up, hoping that then resellers all come into FOMO so that they can cash out, wouldn't it be better to have a higher valuation in the market, or give a bigger buffer from where they, so maybe that's it. Maybe they're trying to crash the market down to 3, 4, 2,500, you know, something that low that they can get in, let it run back up to 20 grand and crash the market again. I don't know. All I can do is react to these charts as they happen and give you my opinions and what I see. So I try to do that as best I can. But hey, I can't predict the future. I ran fresh out of ESP. My crystal ball broke a number of years ago. So we'll see what happens. All right. Will you follow the mainnet from Tron? I already answered that. Right. Okay. Ripple rant. Yeah. Sorry, guys. That's what happens. You bring up Ripple, I start ranting. Yeah, just hold on. EOS won't matter in a year. That's great. That's not a bad thing. I mean, I think EOS, they've got all the funding in the world, so I think that project is going to do fine. I am not worried about that project going anywhere. And I do think it'll be worth more than it is now. So probably HODL is a good, especially if you got in at ICO, is probably a good way to go if you want to save yourself some stress. But that being said, you know, I never have a problem with selling selling on the high and regaining your position for a lower amount. I don't think that's a problem at all. And I think it's going to come down a little bit. So if you have not gotten into an EOS trade, I would wait. You have time. I think it's going to come back down again before it pumps. And I think long term, I think it does have legs. But for right now, I think you can wait to get in, or that if you've been in for a while, that you'd be okay to take some profit. And where did it go? I got too many coins over here, guys. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I would wait. I think it'll break down more ahead of that mainnet launch. We'll see. All right. Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point, Doc Wicked. All right, let's see. What else? Coin Grinder. You might have noticed I'm a little more pale than I'm a little more pale than Snay. He is coming back though. He will be on. I will be away for a few days next week, so you'll definitely see Snay. Do I work on BitMEX? No, I don't touch BitMEX. Nope. I trade on GDAX, I trade on Binance, I trade on Bittrex, and I trade on KuCoin, but only sparingly, and IDEX because that's their distributed exchange. All right. Let's see what else. Guess I should give my Ripple profit back. I bought it the first time at 6 cents. Does it make me bad, or is profit profit? Profit's profit. Profit is profit. So this is one thing I always encourage, especially when new traders get into the market. Like, you know, I know a lot of people get into this game with their beer money, right? You know, they're putting 20 bucks, 100 bucks in and whatever. So don't think about it as hard numbers, right? Don't think about, oh yeah, I only put in 100 bucks, and if I would have put in 1,000, never lament the trades you didn't make. You didn't make the trade, so you can't be like, if I'd only, yeah, well, if I'd only sold all my Bitcoin at 20 grand, you know, whatever. I didn't, so who cares? Right? It's over. You can't lament the trades you didn't make. So, yeah, I would say profit is profit. Take profit when it's there to be taken. Always. That's what trading is. And you're either increasing your position in the asset, or you're increasing your fiat value of that asset. And that's the game that you're trying to play. Somebody on Twitter just asked me if they could ask a question. You're fired. Don't ask if you can ask a question, just ask a question. And I'm happy to answer. All right, let's see. What else? When is the year up on the ICO for EOS, so you don't have to worry about losing it if you owned it prior to year end? It's a good question. I think, hold on. EOS private. Oh, the ICO ends tomorrow, so it's a year from tomorrow, I guess. Is that right? That can't be right. Huh. Well, their mainnet launch is at the end of the month, or was scheduled for the end of the month. But yeah, this ICO is still ongoing, so it says it ends on June 1st. So that's what I would operate under that. I would operate under that unless I find out otherwise. Okay, you did ask the question. Now I'm just ribbing you. It's Beznaz. If Tron announces they bought BitTorrent, how will the markets react? I think it's going to be a good thing for the. I think that would be. I think the market would end up purchasing a significant portion of Tron. I think if they realize the potential for what that is. Think about it. If they had a BitTorrent and you were paid crypto to seed files on a decentralized platform, not saying it's legal exactly, or at least by United States copyright laws, but a lot of potential for the platform, don't you think? All right, let's see. Can I look at Lisk? Sure, I'll look at Lisk. Why not? Let's have a look, see. Now I've got that in here. Where are you, Lisk? There it is. I'd be careful on Lisk right now. This is right in my no trade zone. Once it gets below that 786 level, it's scary, right? You wanna wait for it to retrace into that level if you are confident that it's going to go back up. So this would have been in my buy zone, but Well, so this just looks like a this looks like a rising wedge to me right here. I guess not quite because of that candle, but oops. I don't like the way that volume's tapering off, and I don't like the way that the histogram is curling down on those smaller intervals. RSI is right about in the center, you know, it's 45 to 50. Let's see. Yeah, there's kind of some mixed signals here, right? The volume is decreasing, which is not great. We do see this. Well, that's almost actually that's looking a little bit more like a bear flag, right? Really. And what do bear flags do? What do bear flags indicate, guys? Do we know? Do you see what I mean by a bear flag? Right? Here's the flag off the end of the flagpole. It's already headed in a downwards direction. I think that breaks down. I think that breaks down on Lisk. So that's in a no trade zone for me right now. It's too close. Yeah, I'm not increasing too many of my alt positions right now. Honestly, I am primarily watching Bitcoin. I'll add to my Monero stack here and there. Altcoin market is never great when the overall market is in a downtrend. And what I've seen is that Bitcoin dominance continues to rise back up to 40%, which leads me to believe that a lot of people are selling off their altcoins right now as well. Ontology looking good. Let's have a look. Yeah, so the short version of that is unless you're looking at this as a long-term hold, I would hold off on Lisk right now. I do like Lisk as a project. I do hold some Lisk, and I think making it so that programmers can make blockchain projects utilizing Java is probably wise. There's a lot of Java programmers in the world, so I do like it long-term, but I'm cautious of picking up any altcoins at the moment because I think Bitcoin goes down further. Is really ultimately my standpoint on that. All right, let's take a look at Ontology. Boy, it's been trading sideways for a while, huh? I'd say you're safe on Ontology. I'd say you're safe to enter that trade. Here's why, because it's just been pinging in here. The volume has stayed consistent and is actually increasing. A little bit of decrease on the 1 hour. RSI is right dead set in the center. It looks like it might be cooling off a little bit there on the 15-minute. We've already posted a bear cross. So I think I would be very cautious about this. Yeah, I suspect we just see that curl back over and continue the downtrend on the 4 hour. I do like Ontology long term. I would say you could ladder in your buys anywhere below these candles here. So 71.80 up to just below this fib level here. So like 83, and then stop loss just above this fib level. So stop loss at like 67 ish. 67.70, 67.50, somewhere in there. Whatever your preference. I think Bitcoin's going to come down, so I think everything else is going to come down. That's ultimately my standpoint on everything right now, unfortunately. When you are out of the market, you have all your wallet in USDT. No. First of all, I've never used Tether, ever. I never used Tether. I close out to Bitcoin and take the beating. No. So I'm not totally out of the market. I've got a bunch of what I consider my long-term prospects sitting on a Trezor or a software wallet. And then I've got my, my trading stack, right? So the money that I'm comfortable leaving on the exchanges to move around, I have closed out of my position on Bitcoin. And it is just sitting to the side waiting. Like I said, I've got super low buy orders in, way down close to that 6 range, because I think we could go down there. But we'll see. We'll see. I see Amal has joined us in the chat. What's happening? Thank you. That's who's chatting is Cryptosomniac right now. So I just want to gas you guys up right now on Amal. He is an animal. His TA is top notch. His manner is fantastic. So I'm pretty animated and whatever. Amal's a little more subdued and will just deliver the information in a very easily digestible manner. I'm a little more manic, I guess. So we're looking forward to having him on the channel, and I think you guys are really gonna like him. Super sharp guy, and we'll see what the future holds. But I suspect we're gonna have some new fans on the stream with them all jumping on here. Whales want 5K. I kind of am of the same opinion. Stellar over Ripple. Straight up, Miguel. Stellar over Ripple all day. All day. All day. All right. What else? What else? What's your buy zone for BCH? It isn't. I have only sell zones for BCH, but I'll look at it for you. I don't like BCH. I keep vacillating. I almost get hooked into it, and then I don't. Where is it? I sometimes listen to Roger Ver talk, and I almost buy into the rhetoric, but then I remember that he was a proponent of insider trading, and I'm like, nah. Do I think ZRX gonna add it to Coinbase Pro? Maybe. Aw, I'm gaining fans too. Ah, thanks, man. I do notice I do have some regulars on here, and I'm very grateful for all of you guys. I recognize names that I see. And obviously, all of you guys that have been chiming in periodically, I see you guys, I recognize you guys, and I'm grateful. I hope I don't butcher your names when I pronounce them, or your handles or whatever. But I'm very grateful for all of you guys, seriously. All right, let's see what else. Oh yeah, BCH buy zone. All right, let's look. And let me not be rude about it. Wait, hold on. For the BCH buy zone, are you looking in USD or are you looking in BTC? I was gonna say let's not be rude about it, and I'll do BTC. I was gonna say let's not be rude about it, and I'll do it in BTC value for the rest of the world. But if you want it in USD, tell me now or forever hold your peace. Institutional money does seem to like BCH. Well, we'll see. We'll see. All right, I'll tell you what. We'll look at it in both. I'll look at it in BTC value first, and then we'll look at it in USD value as well. Where are my tools? Oh, here we go. So we'll go from the breakout to the recent high. Well, if you must, it's right at my trade range. This is right at where I like it, guys. So I would say you could probably, if you must, with your BCH at BTC at the 0.12 sats level, you could put buy orders from the 0.12 sats level up to just below that fib line. Why is this not giving me smaller numbers? So just, yeah, just at that 0.13. And I'm sorry, there should be some other numbers to the side of that. I could give you a higher valuation, but it just doesn't want to, it's only giving me round numbers for some reason. So if we are looking at that in USD value, boy, it's actually doing better in Bitcoin value than it is in USD value, isn't it? Interesting. In USD value, it is also within my trade range, but I would actually be, I wouldn't be putting any buys in USD right now. In fact, I would be setting a stop loss at 921 sats is what I would be doing. That's what I would do with that. I would let myself get stopped out and reacquire lower, because that's what I think is going to happen with Bitcoin Cash. All right. Aw, thanks, Ramara. I know you're here all the time. Thanks. I appreciate it, guys. Really, I really am glad. I'm really very grateful, guys. I you know, like I said, I recognize you guys that are here all the time, and I'm very grateful for your attention and time. So thank you for spending your time with me, guys. All right, let's see. What do I think of Decred's support? I was looking at this earlier. I think I nixed it out of here. No, there it is. I was looking at this yesterday. I mean, it's basically, it just keeps bouncing off this support line. I would want to look at whatever exchange you're trading it on and look at the order book on this and see if there's just somebody propping this up. You know, is there some whale just propping this price up, or does the market actually not want it to go below, you know, 0.0121 sats, because it just seems to bounce off of that over and over. That being said, man, that's a tough one, honestly, because I'll call this a buy signal. Yeah, this is actually, I'm pretty confident in saying this is actually, yeah, sorry, like a piece of my mustache fell out and stuck to my lip or something. Anyway, it's been trading sideways. There's not a ton of volume on this project in general, and I like this action on the RSI. Or, I'm sorry, on the MACD. Right as the histogram starts to curl down, it's bouncing back up there a little bit, which leads me to believe that it's probably going to find some buyers at this level, and I suspect we'll probably trade around. So if you were going to make an entry, again, why pay more than you have to? Why ever pay more than you have to? And I would say you could start laddering in buys from 1168.50 up to the bottom of these wicks, and then I would set a really tight stop loss on that, like, yeah, 11,468.93. Not a huge range in there. It looks like it's going to trade sideways, but again, I'm not super confident that Bitcoin's going to continue at its current price. So if Bitcoin continues to break down, so does everything else. All right. Mobius is built on Stellar. I have not checked it out. That's another one. I know of it. It keeps coming across my purview, but I have not looked into it. And I really need to start doing some top 5 ICO videos, so I need to start putting some of those together. So I appreciate all of the heads up on all of the coins you guys are keeping your eyes on. All right, well guys, I think this is getting me pretty close to the end of the stream here. I've been trying to keep these things to an hour for our audience's sanity, and also to leave you guys with a little bit of FOMO, because if I do this for 2 hours at a time, you don't have any incentive to come on over and let me finish answering your questions and charting your coins, etc., in the Moon Lounge. You can join the Cryptosomniac Advantage right now, and you get a 2-week trial for free, no charge. And you just go over to cryptosomniac.com, click the Cryptosomniac Advantage, and it will take you in there where you can sign up. And you can download all of these reports and read up on them if you want to know about Elastos, Trade.io, Pundi X, Loki. If you want to see Amal's sixth theory, there is also an opportunity to read it here if you don't want to watch the webinar. And you also have access to our private Slack channel. We'd love to have you. 2 weeks for free. What do you got to lose? Come on over and join us. And with that, I think it is time to give away some free crypto. So, are you guys still with me? Is everybody still here? Still watching? Are we excited? Who wants some free crypto? If you want to be eligible, all you need to do is down below there on the YouTube, not in the chat, down below, leave a comment with your ERC20 address. On Facebook, I need you to like and share. And on Twitter, give me a retweet and you will be eligible for some free crypto. So I'm going to look at who was checking us out yesterday, and let's pick a winner. All right. One for Twitter, 2 for Facebook, 3 for YouTube. Closing my eyes, and 3 times is the charm. Survey says number 2. Cool. Facebook it is. And let's see how many people we had on Facebook. 3 shares. And one of them was us. Nobody wants free crypto? All right, well, that's a drag. You're also doing me a solid by helping me to get more people to watch the video. So would love to have more people share it if possible, but certainly we give away free crypto every day on this show. So if you want to be eligible for that, like and share. Like and share, like and share, like and share. All right, well, it looks like I see 3, it says, but I only see actually 2 people. This is very strange. I guess somebody hid their privacy from me. So, Unsky, you just had the easiest win in the history of ever. Because I'm not going to make myself eligible since I shared my own video. So you win, dude. And if you want to be eligible on tomorrow's giveaway, again, put a comment in the YouTube with your ERC20 address. Got to have the ERC20 address to be eligible. Give me a like and a share on Facebook, and retweet me on Twitter, and you will be eligible. Honestly, it looks like it's a piece of cake to win on Facebook right now. Twitter, I had significantly more. 11 retweets on Twitter. Way more comments on YouTube. So also, if you do all 3, you're eligible in all 3 places. So the more chances to enter the win, the better. Anyway, all right, guys. So I've got to give this gentleman his
online.
Oh dear. And I've got to give this gentleman his free crypto. So Unsky, we will have my staff get in touch with you, and we will give you some free crypto, guys. Other than that, if you do, if this was not enough and you need more, jump over into the Moon Lounge. Seriously, just sign up and jump in. You can ask us questions all the time. We are there. We have 4 full-time live technical analysts there to answer your questions. And I just want to touch on this today, guys. If you got into this market real quick just because you were like, oh, Bitcoin's easy money, we've learned otherwise, haven't we? It's not easy money. You have to pay a lot of attention. It takes a lot of dedication, and we know that's part of why you've joined our group. So we're very grateful for that. But you know, I hope that you're not the kind of person that's just going to capitulate because you got into the market at the 20K mark, in which case I would recommend you just hold on to those coins and sit out. But you know, I do understand if enough bear pressure comes in and beats the market down to 4K, it's going to cause a lot of people to capitulate. So I would just say, as you are trying to make the decision, are you stopping out of the market entirely? Are you in it for the long haul? remember why you got into crypto in the first place. Remember what it is that attracted it to you, what it is that attracted you to it. And if it was just a quick buck, then I guess you already have your answer. But if not, if you actually are a believer in the technology and are here to help try to shake things up in the world, change the system as it is, and maybe help some of the people in the world that aren't afforded as many opportunities as you are, then I would encourage you to keep your hands strong, because weak hands can't hodl. And with that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I've still got some more work to do tonight. So thank you very much for joining me. I will see you guys tomorrow. I remain Jason, and keep your stop losses tight. See you tomorrow.